applicants. They're not.
Okay. How are y'all doing?
Good.
How about you?
Good.
Doing pretty well. Traveling back from Denver.
Oh,
Take it from my car.
yeah. Hopefully that I-70 corridor, that can be challenging sometimes.
Yeah, wouldn't try driving while I do that.
I can't walk and chew gums. I think everyone knows ours.
Location of that around Leadville. Where is it in relation to downtown?
Are you asking a question?
Yeah, for that lot that they want the variance on.
So this is Centennial Heights is located on County Road 11 on your way to Half Moon. So
Right,
if you take
okay.
Highway 300 towards the fish hatchery,
Yeah.
and then you take County Road 11 off of that, then this subdivision sits to the south of County Road 11.
Cool.
Sure. And Sharon, that is in the meeting. We're just waiting for the applicant to arrive. And as soon as they do, we'll turn it over to the chair and they'll go ahead and start the meeting. So we're just waiting for just a moment. I have to zoom link and see your computer. So. Are we ready? We are ready. Okay, so it is 4:01 on Thursday, April 25th, 2024. And we'll call this meeting to order of the Board of Adjustment for Lake County today. And we will do a roll call of board members. Marcella, here. Barry.
Here.
Tate. Here. And Markham.
Here.
All right. Do we have any agendas or additions to the agenda, or are we ready to approve? We don't have anything extra. Staff doesn't have anything else for you today. Cool. Anybody else have anything to say? No. Okay, Larry, are you good with the agenda?
But I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't have comment. Thank you, though.
Okay. So I will move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Okay. And then the minutes from our last meeting, which was February 15th, 2024. And we heard an application for a property on Mountain View, County Road 17. I did not have any questions with the minutes. Was there
I did
any?
not either. No.
Okay.
Fine.
And Larry was absent, so I will move that we approve the minutes from February 15th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Good.
Okay. With that, we don't have any old business listed on the agenda. And we'll go into new business, which is file number 24-09, 275 Stargazer Circle variance request. So what we'll do is we will allow staff to review the staff report and the request for the variance, and then after staff has completed their presentation, we will give the applicant an opportunity to respond. and add any clarifications to staff's report or on the application for the board to consider. After that, we will ask for public comment that staff has received or from public comment on the meeting or in the room, or on the Zoom or in the room. And then the board will deliberate amongst ourselves before making a final decision. So with that, we will go ahead and get started, and I'll let staff take the lead.
Thank you so much. This is a variance application for a property located at 275 Stargazer Circle in the Centennial Heights subdivision. The applicants are Gregory and Amy Pena. I hope I pronounced that right. And
That's right.
okay, very good. And what they are bringing this application forth today is a suggestion that the zoning associated with their parcel of ag forestry, if strictly applied, the dimensional standards would create a practical difficulty, resulting, they suggest, in a hardship to be able to realize a use by right of siting a single-family home. And so the particulars around this lot are the basis of this application. So as you will see on the screen share, the site plan demonstrates that within the Centennial Heights subdivision, a subdivision that was created prior to subdivision review or regulations, this property is encumbered by, on the front side of the lot, on the street side, they are encumbered by an easement for right-of-way. The roads are not separately platted, they are easements over private property. So this has an impact to the street side of their lot by creating an additional 20 feet. And code requires that the street setback be measured from the edge of the right-of-way. So immediately, the first 20 feet of their street-facing portion of their property is encumbered by that right-of-way. They have purchased 2 lots and vacated the lot line in between the 2 lots, 15 and 16, to increase the area in which to site their home. But some of the challenges that they have had design professionals assisting them with trying to site the property within the setbacks. But what is attributing to these challenges of realizing not only a 50-foot setback from the street side, 25 feet on the sides, and 25 feet from the rear, are that this property is served by a well and septic. The well and the leach field have to be separated by 100 feet. The septic tank from the house has to be separated by 5 feet. And the home itself, has to be separated from the leach field of 10 feet. And then that increases to 20 feet if there's a crawl space involved. So as you can see, when you're trying to, locate so your leach field here and your well here has to maintain 100 feet separation. And if you already have this encumbrance of 20 feet, the distance from the front of the lot, from the property line to the back, is 120 feet. You have 20 feet of right-of-way easement that is immediately encumbered on the front side of the lot, 25 feet in the back. And so when you're trying to accommodate 100-foot separation between the leach field and the well, generally you would locate it kind of in those 4 corners, one of the 4 corners, to be able to achieve that distance. Mm-hmm. And then from the field to the house, and early design docs I think that I've seen of the house suggest a crawl space. So from the leach field, they're going to have 20 feet separation from the leach field to the house, and 5 feet from the septic tank. So if you were to take that 120 feet total of the lot, take out 20 feet for the right-of-way, now we're down to 100. We further reduce it by another 25 feet to accommodate the rear setback. And then, and that probably could be achievable if you weren't trying to then accommodate these separations of your infrastructure needs. And so that is really the challenge with which they are suggesting that it makes it very difficult to be able to site this property within the zone district setbacks. And what they're asking for today, first, instead of the 50-foot setback at this 20-foot point, is a reduction to 25 feet from the edge of the right-of-way to the home. This home is just a little over 1,000 square feet. It's just under 1,200 square feet. Kind of a modest 2-bedroom, 2-bath home, not an overly large build. And also, I think that something else that might be considered is there is no garage at this point, and a future phase might consider a garage. So just the thought that there might be some accessory uses that are perhaps reasonable expectations of a single family use by right, that probably also lends itself to where that they have located this. Based on those challenges, they are requesting today consideration that the strict application of the code would result in a practical difficulty that would then result in a hardship of a use by right associated with the zoning. And I think that is the basis of staff's review, and happy to answer any questions specific to that or introduce the applicant, and they can fill in any other items that they have.
Has the proximity to the wells and other septics been looked at, I assume?
I'm sorry, Larry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, I assume that you looked at the proximity to the neighbors' wells and septic.
That's a very good point. We did. These two lots back behind are currently vacant. Lot 7, they have a pit system, and that pit is located approximately in this general vicinity right here in the corner as well. And then these other properties on this side and this side are vacant. So this is really immediately where the other septic system is. So again, thinking that we have a well here, and generally over here, we're going to have a 100-foot separation over here. And from, but immediately to this leach field, there is an adjacent leach field here.
Do the lot sizes allow for a well to be placed 100 foot on those adjacent lots?
Will this affect the placement of the well? Yes, the placement of this leach field will affect placement over on these two lots, which are currently vacant. So they will have to maintain, I believe this is 32 feet to this midpoint. So I think the septic system's about 25 feet here. So generally there couldn't be a well within about 75 feet of this lot 6 in order to have proper separation.
I thought it had to be 100 foot.
I know, I'm giving 25 feet from approximately here, and then another 75.
So that lot's big enough to allow for that?
There is enough land area. There generally, what we're finding, and something that we've brought up in Centennial Heights time and again, is that this subdivision the density of this subdivision doesn't align with ag forestry. Ag forestry requires a minimum lot size of 5 acres. But this subdivision predates zoning, and we've kind of found ourselves in this conundrum before of how do we address siting, infrastructure, and use by right on zoning uses on this subdivision in a way that we can accommodate the zoning setbacks, dimensional standards, and the infrastructure. So this does continue to be a struggle within the subdivision itself.
And elsewhere in the county.
Yeah, specifically in your neck of the woods, Gordon Acres has those challenges as well. So, very good. Any other questions for staff?
How
I
does,
don't think so. Sorry, go ahead.
how does the proposed setback for this lot compare to the existing setback of other developed lots in the subdivision?
So we have granted, let me see, I think the easier way would be to probably look at GIS. Could you pull up the GIS map for me real quick? And you can generally see kind of what the other builds have looked at, like in as much as I would say the vast majority of these properties have received variances because they were able to demonstrate a peculiar situation, a particular situation, consistent with each of theirs as well. And so generally you will see that, there we go. But this is a good tool to kind of see the imagery and kind of see where the other ones are located. So let's get those on there. And then, yeah, let's come in just a little bit more. So, you know, we are talking right here. This is our subject property. But you can generally see that those setbacks have not been maintained in other areas. This one's, I know this one immediately. We did grant a variance to this one. But generally you can see that kind of uniformly, they have not maintained a 50-foot setback. We could measure. Okay.
Just curious.
Yeah, but generally that's what we're seeing. So let me close that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Amy, do you have anything for staff at this point?
No, I think I'm kind of along the same lines as, oh, are you talking to me?
No, you, yes.
Okay.
Amy Tate, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Amy also.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
It's all about me. No, my general question, I think is what Larry was alluding to, is if we grant this variance, because I know we've done lots of other ones, we're not creating an issue on the other adjacent lots where they aren't gonna be able to, it'll be impossible for them to do a well and a septic. That's my only concern.
And that is a very valid concern.
Mhm.
So we do have the ability for, if we look at the map again, oh, is everything okay? Is everything?
No, Haley keeps calling me.
Oh,
It's okay,
Okay,
so
so
you can take it if you need to, and we'll hear from the applicant.
okay, would you like to do that? And then
Yeah,
I'll-
that's
Absolutely.
Totally
Okay,
fine.
I'm so sorry.
Pardon the interruption?
No, you're
No worries.
Not a
good.
problem.
Okay, so I think, with that consideration that we're talking through, and we can talk through that with staff, after going through the rest of the application regarding future land use abilities on adjacent lots, consider that. But, we'll let the applicant, at this time, do a presentation for us if you have anything prepared, or give us any additional information that you'd like for us to take into consideration with your application.
The only thing that I can say is if we're concerned about the wells on the other properties, most of the few that I did see, all the wells were in the same place as ours, which is the front left corner of the lot.
Right.
Of the first lot, because most of these are sold in 2 lots. And so they call for the consolidation of the 2 lots. And the wells that I did see out there that have already been drilled were in the front left corner.
Yeah, I thought they already all had wells.
I don't think they all have wells, but the few that I did see that did have wells, they're all in the front left corner. So that I do believe that they would still be able to get that 100-foot clearance between the well and the septic tank if they did it, the same way. And I think that's the way pretty much everybody's done it out there. As far as getting that dimension of 100 foot between the well and the septic system.
Okay. I don't think that I have any further questions either, so.
Do we know who owns lot 17 and 18 in block 2?
We can look at that real quick.
Mr. Pena suggested that you may need 2 lots as a matter of practicality to develop, and I'm just curious whether the ownership of 17 and 18 already reflects common ownership.
Very good. Yes, they own both. They own lots 5 and 6, block 2.
You're asking about 17 and 18?
The one's right behind,
Okay.
I think. Is
Yeah.
that what you were asking?
Well, we're dealing with what?
17 and 18 are
Replat of
adjacent.
16.
To the,
Right, so you're talking
west.
about these?
I'm talking about
Oh,
to
these?
the west.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
it's owned by a sheriff's deputy.
Oh.
But
Oh,
together?
That's why it's not
That's
on there.
already been.
Yeah, they're all together.
Okay.
So
There's
they've
only
already-
one lot out there, I think, that's left, but I
Okay.
think it's that one that's
That's right,
singular.
we've already done a consolidation on this
okay.
lot, so we've already consolidated this
So
one.
that really does solve that problem,
Yes,
Okay,
correct?
Yes, we've already consolidated that one.
okay. And I think the only thing that we wanted to talk through collectively was the consideration of what future land use or building applications look like for the lot behind and then to the west. Like if this setback variance was granted, would that create an undue hardship on the surrounding properties?
Absolutely. So this one I saw it with, is owned, they own both of them. And then, this one, they own both as well. So they are in common ownership, all of the adjacent properties as well.
When you were talking about the other one that has a pit system, though, that's what I was wondering, like,
Oh.
if they ever have to replace that,
So they're consolidated as well.
but is there enough room for them to come, because they have very limited area, for them to come out with a bigger leach field and not interfere with this leach field? Or vice
So-
versa?
So we want leach fields and wells to not be near each other.
So leach field to leach field is
I
not a
think
big
it's
deal?
only 5 feet, leach field to leach.
Oh,
field.
okay, I thought it was like 50,
So.
okay, great.
No,
that
no.
works.
So this one, which is could be a reality, because this is an old pit system.
Mhm.
Which we're trying to,
Yeah, those
Right,
will have to
phase
go
out.
away if they decide to sell it,
So,
or
yeah.
it fails.
yeah.
right,
So at some point, their tank is, generally their as-built shows the pit somewhere over in here and their tank right behind the house. And so, yes, but their well is located up here in the front of their lot.
okay, so that creates the separation between this proposed septic system and that well, the neighbor's well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Do any of our fellow board members have any additional questions for staff at the applicant at this time?
I just have one question, just to confirm. I assume that notice was given to all the adjoining property owners. I know there's a sign on this consolidated lot, but is there mailed notice? Is that the way
there
it's
was, yeah, and
Yes.
we have confirmation from the applicant that they completed that.
Thank you.
Okay, so at this time, we will open the public hearing portion of the meeting. If there is anybody on the Zoom that would like to present us with any public comment, and I think that there's only the 3 of us on there.
Yeah.
Did you receive any public comment in the mail or via email and/or CC?
I did not.
So I think that we've met all of those requirements for notice and opportunity for public comment. Okay, so we will close the public comment portion of our meeting today at 4:22. Okay, so at this point, we're going to allow the board to do some deliberation amongst the 4 of us, and if we need any clarifications, we'll direct those clarifications to our staff. and then we will make a decision on the application. So, I will just open it up to my fellow board members to ask any additional clarifying questions or consider a motion at this point.
I'm ready to make a motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion, to approve, that the requested variance is consistent with the Lake County Comprehensive Plan and the purposes set out in section 1.4 of this code as listed in the staff report. Is that acceptable? So I don't have to read all that? Okay.
And I would
Alright.
second that motion if I don't have to read it.
Okay, so we have Amy has made a motion and Larry has seconded, so we do have a motion on the floor and we'll discuss the motion. Okay. Tim, do you have anything?
No, that's consistent with staff's recommendation, and I agree with their recommendation, so I support the motion.
Okay. Larry, do you have any additional comments or questions for staff or comments around the motion?
No, I'm happy, thanks.
All right, Amy? Good, okay. And I don't have anything either, so at this point, we will vote on the motion. So all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, thank you very much. Staff, if you will assist the Vinyas in the next steps of their application process, we would appreciate it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have fun.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
So that will conclude the items that we have on our agenda today, so we will adjourn this afternoon at 4:25 p.m. And we do not have anything subsequent scheduled, so we'll wait to hear from you if an application comes through.
Okay, very
Alright.
good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Well, thanks all.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
You.